Hi there, I'm Brad and we're at the Bristol Show 2026. Forgot what year it was for a second there.
The one after 25.
The one after 25, but it's our 37th year.
No,
Yeah, don't
no.
worry. And today I am joined by Colin from Chord Electronics. Hello, mate.
Hello, mate. Thanks
Lovely
very much.
to see you.
And you?
Well, we've passed like ships in the night at the show many times in the years, and we've never had the chance to sit down and have a chat.
No.
And I know that you were all very reluctant to come and sit and chat with me. You drew the short straw, and you've had to come and talk to me.
Well, considering I'm the boss of the group here, I don't quite understand how that worked, but, you know,
There's a dynamic
take
shift.
one for the team.
Yeah, exactly. I'll be gentle.
No, it's fine. Genuinely, I love it. I like to be the guy in the background.
Yeah.
I think the equipment should always do the talking. We're one of those teams that it's like whoever's got the best idea, they lead.
Yeah.
Regardless of what rank you are. And, and I've always felt that way. Like you go onto the Hi-Fi side and you talk to Mitch and Tom, those guys are elite at it, so why would I be?
And I think that's the right thing to do. Let the product speak for itself and the talent will shine through. But for those who don't know Chord Electronics, there will be some out there who
absolutely,
don't know. What is it that you guys do?
I think probably the best short story, because I appreciate that your time is precious, but Chord Electronics started in the late 80s, owned by John Franks, still owned by John Franks, so we're not like a consortium or anything like that. Still single owner, very, very British company, very proud of everything that we do. It's British, even some of our small products. Started out actually in the pro industry. We're purely a pro manufacturer.
Yeah.
So we made amplifiers using John Frank's own power supply technology.
Yeah.
And the first customer, I guess, was the BBC.
Yep.
So we've been working with the BBC since probably about 1990.
Wow.
Then it was Abbey Road, and
just a few small names,
Well, the next one, which is I love, because if you meet Tom downstairs, the head of our pro department, he's a huge Star Wars nerd.
Yeah.
Lucasfilms.
That's really
So
cool.
we're in Skywalker.
Yeah.
So we've done pretty well everything with them since the Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
And I'm old, so I liked the original
the
three.
original trilogy, of
And
course.
I do like having the little spit where I'll go, so we worked with them from the Phantom Menace. And I said, well, don't blame me for the script, and Jar Jar Binks is not our fault.
Duel of the Fates is one of the most iconic bits of music, so,
I do say it does sound good though, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
It does sound good.
Jar Jar aside, the sound quality is amazing.
Absolutely.
And you're saying that's Chord
That's where
Electronics.
so that's where we started, and we work in tons of really big major studios. So we always kind of say that if you're listening to music, there's a very strong chance that it's been through Chord Electronics. So it's all about the authenticity of the sound.
Yeah.
And then I think perhaps we're more well known certainly the last few years, because of our DACs.
Yeah.
When we brought out a product called Mojo, or the first Mojo, that just entered us into an entirely different view or arena.
Yeah.
And any manufacturer, you sell what sells.
Yeah.
And the Mojo experience was incredible. The company grew exponentially because of the technology in such a relatively inexpensive box. I'm always careful of that, because £400 is a lot of money.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
But,
relative to
in the
other
grand
stuff,
scheme of things.
Absolutely, yeah.
And, you guys do have quite a wide range of products and price points as well.
Yes.
So, obviously, you've spoken about the Mojo. You've got the smaller desktop amp series.
Yes.
And the sort of modular...
Yep.
Which I think look fantastic.
Yeah, the Coral range.
Exactly,
Yeah.
And because you've got your multicoloured LED buttons, which it's quite an iconic look for you guys.
It's divisive. Mm-hmm. I have had discussions with people saying, well, why don't you just put it in a plain, simple black box? I said, well, that's just not what we do. John Franks...
Some people just want to see the world burn.
Well, yeah. Do you know what? And the reality is, if I'm not right for you and I'm right for you, if I do it differently, it just reverses.
Yeah.
You just got to have thick skin and take it. And there's so much choice. There's so much good kit out there.
Yeah.
There really is so much good kit that you just got to make your choice and stand your ground.
Yeah.
So John loves his industrial design. He takes his cues from architecture, from watches. You'll see in Dave, it looks like the bezel of a watch. And the idea of the different ranges is confusing for some, but the reality is some people don't want a lot of real estate.
Yeah.
The big Asian dining rooms and the huge American rooms, that's fine. A lot of people live in small environments, but they still want quality.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of smaller components are not as good as the bigger components because size matters.
Yeah.
Well, we've just tried to engineer the very best quality out of smaller components, smaller footprint.
Yeah.
People are staying at home lot longer.
Yeah.
I think the average age of people leaving home in Italy is in the 30s now.
Wow.
Houses are getting smaller, considerably, rapidly. So we're trying to put a slot in for most people to have an opportunity to have really high-performing equipment at whatever footprint. And if you want big stuff, we do big.
Yes, because I was going to say you do also traverse that more luxury, high-end.
We have our Ultima series and the Ultima reference series. Last week I think I was in Sweden. Week before I was in Dubai with our new partner, and you know the YG brand, big metal speakers.
Yes, yeah.
So they've just released a speaker called the Titan, which is $1 million, and for some people that's an obscene amount of money. For most people, for sure, but for some people it's like, I want to have the best I can get.
Yeah.
And we ran that with 6 of our reference monos.
Wow.
And I've got to say, it was breathtakingly good. Like when you yourself are sat there chucking on your own tunes after the event when you should be packing down. I mean, it's whatever music gives you, it gave us. It's really exciting, but it's nice to do that and then equally sit with someone with a mojo, plug their phone into it, and see the joy that their face lights up.
Absolutely.
It's a big thing for us.
It's safe to say that the passion and love of music is the driving force behind what you guys do.
It's huge. It's huge. So we would, yes, we have to talk about the equipment, but we would sooner talk music and say the equipment backs that up.
Yeah, of course.
In Sweden, it was a very interesting dynamic because I was doing different DACs, and we had 2 DACs that I quite confidently say Neil Young has purchased. And Neil Young reached out to us, and I'm a huge Neil Young fan. So when I read the email, I'm like, this is fake.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. It was actually they reached out because he loves the product so much, and he wanted us to write something so he could tell people on his own website, Neil Young Archives, and so people could understand why he's shouting about this product. So we've got. I've been a lover of music since I can't remember. I have a huge collection of everything. I joke I listen to Slayer, to S Club 7, to Shostakovich. Right. You know, Tom, head of our pro, he's a classically trained musician. He plays bassoon in an orchestra. Okay. But he'll be at the front of a ministry gig with me and half a pint of rum deep and dancing the night away.
I need to come party with you guys.
Mitch has got his own band, and who's head of technical support. He's always on tour. He's just toured with the editors as support act. You know, big arenas and stuff. Yeah. Music is we as soon as we finish here, we're in the bar and we are always pretty well talking music.
Yeah.
You know.
And I think that's something that needs to be translated to the end user, basically. That the guys behind the equipment are music lovers as well. We're all sat on a level playing field in that we all have our favourite tracks that we love to listen to.
Yeah.
We're not doing it to try and get the best out of that system to try and sell it necessarily. It's because we want to hear that music being played in the best possible way.
Absolutely, and the message we're keen to impart is, and going back to say like Neil, Mr. Young.
Me and Neil, yeah.
He's always been about the authenticity of sound. He's never done an audiophile recording in his life.
No.
His music is gritty, it's raw, it's whatever. But he wants you to hear that grittiness and rawness.
Yeah.
And that's something I think is sometimes missed in certain parts of the industry, like how smooth, how beautiful the sound is. Yes, if it's well produced. I listen to the Bad Brains. Yeah. I don't want it to be recorded. They're fantastic.
Yeah. So.
Off camera, I'll tell you an amazing story about the Bad Brains, because we work with their engineer.
Okay.
But you don't want Diana Krall to be recorded like the Bad Brains.
No.
Or vice versa.
No.
You need that authenticity.
But it's, I listen to a lot of punk music and a lot of ska and a lot of reggae and stuff. And some of those recordings are raw as hell, and they're live.
Yeah.
You want that energy translated, and you don't want it to come through all compressed and saturated. You want to be able to pick out those instruments as if you're in the room.
I often use a Patti Smith track as my demo piece for me to understand what the equipment is doing, because I don't think there's anyone that conveys emotion or talks to you on a one-to-one level, live or behind a record, like Patti Smith does.
Yeah.
And anyone who knows me well knows I am a bit obsessive about Patti Smith. But if you ever get the opportunity to see her, you just see how she communicates, and she, whatever it is, that X factor, she has it in spades, and she's such a lovely, lovely person. I was very honoured to have met her.
Yeah.
And she spent more time chatting to my 2 young daughters at the time, which was really sweet.
Yeah.
But when you hear music like that and you hear the emotion that's coming through in her voice, because you know the story behind the music, which was about a lost lover sadly through someone dying.
Yeah.
And if you can hear that, then that piece of equipment should just disappear and give you the music.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, absolutely. There's a book by the frontman of the Eels. Things the grandchildren should know.
I've read it. It's fantastic.
And it comes with a little demo CD of the. You listen to track 1 before you start reading the book, and track 2 after you've read the book. And because you know that emotional story that it's gone through, it just hits you in a completely different way.
If you ever think you're having a tough time, every now and again, that just puts it into a little perspective, and you go, and this happened, and you're like, oh, and by the way, my relatives were in the plane that hit the Pentagon, and you're like, it's wonderfully written. It's someone I'd like to meet and talk to.
Yeah.
You get the feeling there's a nice...
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, I felt like I could sit and talk to you all afternoon.
Well, if you get some beers in.
Well, that'd be a very different video. Well, let's go back to the products. You've got a couple of different demo spaces. Or you've got your sort of, would you call it like a breakfast bar type in the...
Yeah. We do it as a bar environment,
Yeah.
because I guess we're used to propping up.
Yeah.
But actually, practically, it's good because it's on hands-on equipment. It's absolutely hands-on equipment. You mentioned about the balls. Mojo was designed to feel almost like a pebble. It's a very tactile product. We get a little criticism because it doesn't have a dial and 1 to 10 on, because you don't know where the volume is. And it's like, well, my mind tells me with my headphones, Mojo is on usually 2 greens or whatever. It's no different to it being 4 or 5. But then you know when you have a loudly recorded album, the volume goes the other way anyway. So once you've gotten the hang of it, we tend to get quite positive feedback. But because it's new, it challenges the norm. But we have the headphone bar. So we'll have Mojo's, Hugo's, which is Mojo's bigger brother, then some static desktop headphone equipment. We have some of our pro stuff there, so we can explain how the development of the equipment comes from the studio to what you're listening to, because they might be in different chassis and there might be different extra pieces that the pro industry requires, but the core technology of the DACs and the amplifiers, what you listen to with our equipment, is what is being used in the studio. It's not a supercharged version in the studio. You are getting...
It's like for like.
Like for like. And then when you come to the hi-fi room, it's a classic hi-fi setup. We're showing off our new reference phono stage. Yes, we are known in the press more for our DACs, but as I alluded to, we actually are an analog company. So John Franks has put all of his expertise into the phono stage, true reference, 3 input. A lot of vinyl customers have 2 arms or 2 turntables, a stereo and maybe a mono turntable. It's plugged in, you can change the settings for each individual, incredibly quiet. We've just had Alan Sercom. Aside from the fact that he's a great journalist, he's a wonderful man. He's a lovely bloke to talk to. And he's come and done an hour presentation of music. So going back to our love of music, it's like he just presented music for an hour, talking about each piece. It's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
And that's what you want to hear, is when people, because for anyone that's not been to the Bristol show before, it's not just a load of gear in rooms. It is, and I've said this before in other videos, it is a celebration of the industry, the community. And this year, in particular, we've seen a lot more talks from other in the rooms taking place, and I think that's a really nice way to have that information fed to us.
Sometimes it's difficult because we do. Just because of the way the rooms run, part of me is a bit against structured demonstrations, because people have you have a very busy show. There's a lot of stuff here for people to see, and it's a lot to get around in a day. And some people want 5-10 minutes and go, oh, I like that, and maybe come and see you later. To be sat in a room for half an hour, 40 minutes or whatever, being spoken at.
It's not for everyone.
It's not for everyone. So, and I don't mean this in an awful way, but our digital designer, Rob, so we're showing off his Quartet, which is a 4 million tap upscaler example, which then works in the digital domain and sits before the DAC.
Right.
So it's our reference front end. and I got to say, it's such a delight playing music through it. We're all sat there as a team going, "Oh, we got to get one. How are we going to get one?" All that, and they're both coming out in about June.
Yeah.
But we know that when Rob does talks, because it's so complex, there's like 2 million lines of code in there.
Wow.
4 million taps. Don't quote me on this. 356,000 DSP calls or whatever. It's an 8-year project.
Yeah.
So he feels that he needs to explain every level of it to the nth degree.
And
so
like
you
you say, if he's-
understand, because it's such a big project for him. But you don't want to hear all of that. You
No.
want to hear the music.
Yeah.
So the balancing act is tough. And
Yeah.
as you know, sales guys are not the technical guys.
No.
We're trying to interpret that 200-page PowerPoint.
Yeah. Take that information, assimilate it, compress it.
Turn that into a soundbite.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, honestly, Colin, I could sit and talk to you all afternoon about this because it's. I think as a company, you've got fantastic ethos and a great range of products. So, and thank you for continuing to support the show and be at the show. It's we love having you guys.
Well, I mean, respectfully, I don't need to be at this show because I'm the sales director. I tend to do all of the international shows, and I'm not saying this because you're here or whatever. I worked for Tony Revell many years ago. He actually interviewed me my first run into this, and I've always loved catching up with Tony. He's always been called Uncle Tony to me. But this show, I always make a point of coming to because of the camaraderie, the feel, the Saturday night at the bar, the way that everyone's kind of joins together and has a good laugh. The rugby helps.
Yeah.
I have a Scottish gentleman working for me at the moment, so we're not talking so much about rugby. Calcutta Cup, sad subject.
Yeah.
But it's always been such a great buzz here, and I do genuinely love coming to this show. It's a great vibe. The customers are good. You see the same people come in.
Yeah.
Go, I bought this. I'm now considering that.
And I think that's the nice thing. We do see a lot of the same faces year on year, but we're seeing a lot of new faces
Absolutely.
as well, and that's really important for the industry and it's nice to just see families and younger people and
Definitely more younger people.
Yeah.
There's more partners coming rather than the older single male day out.
Yeah.
So,
it's a nice diverse crowd, and why aren't you coming? Why are you watching this on YouTube? You should be here. What are you up to?
Maybe they're watching it on YouTube downstairs going, "Oh,
they're at the bar.
I've just missed." Yeah.
Colin, look, thank you so
Mate,
much.
Been
It's
a pleasure.
Been an absolute pleasure.
Thank
Guys,
you.
thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll see you at the show next year. Take care. Bye now.
Thank you.